My name is Marc Paveglio, and I'm a seminarian for the Archdiocese of St. Paul in Minneapolis in Minnesota. I'm in my second year of theology at St. Paul Seminary. I grew up in Pennsylvania, actually, near Harrisburg. The last of three kids. My parents are still there, and when I was born, they baptized me about a month later. And growing up in the house, we go to Mass every Sunday, and I went to religious education, but nothing really else as far as religious practice. When I was in high school, though, I began to really take the faith upon my own. I began to read the Bible and the Catechism, and I liked it, much to some people's surprise. And it was there I really began to know Christ and pray personally, and even go to the chapel sometimes at Holy Spirit Church and just talk to the Lord. After my graduation from high school, began to hear just in my head just kind of thoughts about the priesthood, just my name being said, like the word priest coming out of nowhere, and I didn't know where it was coming from, but I didn't give much thought to it. I just thought maybe this is just random neurons firing in my head. But when I went to college in the fall, it wouldn't go away, and I began to ask the Lord sincerely, what is this about in my heart and my mind about the priesthood? Is there something there? And it was scary, but I told the Lord, I want my life to be conformed to your will, because I know that your will is my own happiness, and that I want to be open to what you want to give me. So I prayed constantly that fall semester, and I just said, Lord, I'm going to leave the door cracked open for you. You'll probably shut it on this option, but there it is. I just assumed I would get married and be a husband and a father. So I prayed and prayed, and nothing happened until January 2004. It was January 10th. It was the day before I was going to go back for my spring semester, and I went to Mass with my family for the Vigil Mass at my home parish, which was St. Paul the Apostle. And my pastor was giving the homily about his own vocation story, how he heard the call from the Lord, and how he actually ran from it, and then came back, and then began the process of thinking it through, and even grieving the wife and children that he wouldn't have, and coming to accept that as part of the vocation. And as he's saying all the prayers I've prayed the past few months, and everything just came crashing down at one moment on me, and a realization that maybe this vocation is for me. And at the same time, I felt just the love of God being poured into my heart, a love that I never knew was possible, a love that was more than I could ever conceive of, and it just washed over me for the whole Mass. And after Holy Communion, I just heard the Lord ask me, in my heart deeply, will you follow me as a priest? Will you follow me in this way? And my whole soul just kind of yelled out, yes, I'll do whatever you will, just let me know what it is. I will follow you this way. So that was the moment where it all began. In the next few years, I had to keep on praying and discerning through it, but at the end of college, I entered seminary, and now I'm about halfway through. For me, my own desire in the priesthood is really to be a humble servant, as Christ the Lord was a servant, coming not to be served, but to serve. And my own love for Christ that I've experienced, starting with that moment at the Mass, and then proceeding, I want to give that love of God to all the people I serve in the future in the parish as a diocesan priest. I want to be a pastor who can bring people to holiness, to know the Lord, to know the Holy Trinity, who knows how to pray deeply from the heart. I want to be a priest and a pastor who will lead people to receive God's love and then go out to the world to be a leaven in society, to be a leaven to transform the world into a place of peace and justice, and also a place where people can be called into relationship with Christ and to know him for themselves. Celebrating the sacraments and proclaiming the word is also just a very deep desire in my heart as a priest. And really to be a man and a priest of communion who brings people together in relationship with each other, with reconciliation, forgiveness, and mercy. People who are lost, forsaken, and estranged, to bring them back to the Lord's love. And all these things are a gift from the Lord. I mean, it's a vocation that he's given me. It's not my own work, but I really want to live that out. One thing that stands in the way is a lot of student loan and student debt that I have. And thankfully, the Catholic LaboureSociety has been working with me to help eliminate some of that debt. And I just ask your prayers and for our vocations, me and the other aspirants, the other seminarians, and also your prayers that if you feel led by the Holy Spirit to contribute to the Laboure Society so that your investment will have a great reward, that people who are wanting to fulfill their vocations can enter into the monastery or the convent or the friary or the seminary, that they can complete what the Lord has started. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.